This is a bit of a different video to the videos I've made in the past, and this is going to be quite a personal video. Today I'm going to be talking about my journey from drinking quite a lot in my younger days all the way up to 6 months ago, where I decided to stop drinking completely and no longer drink alcohol. So 6 months to the day today since I stopped drinking alcohol. I feel amazing. That sounds like a big humble brag, but it's so true. My stomach feels amazing. No more digestive problems. I sleep better. I've got great energy, and I'm just in such a good place mentally and physically. I want to talk to you a little bit about my journey on how I used to drink, why I decided to stop drinking, and really the benefits and how you, if you choose to do something similar, and how it can be a really positive move for yourself. So I really started drinking when I was 15, socially, like many people in the United Kingdom. Some of you Americans or some other nationalities might think that's young, but in the UK that's pretty normal to be drinking at that age, going into the pubs and getting served underage. And I drank pretty heavily, I think, all the way through university, all the way through playing rugby, and then joining the army when I was 21. And I had so many good memories of partying, getting drunk, and I was exactly that type of person, the party person. Always gonna say yes to a night out. I would always say yes to any social event. And for me, the going out and drinking was like the highlight of my week. And I'd do it 2 or 3 times a week, maybe 4 times a week sometimes. But it doesn't come without consequences. I made so many terrible decisions when I was drunk. Decisions that you wouldn't make when you're sober. Getting into fights when I was younger. I once had somebody throw a bottle at my eyebrow. I don't know if you can see that. Ooh, yeah, just there on my head. Somebody threw a bottle at my face when I was about 23. I've woken up, blacked out in so many places, and my stomach was in a bad place, if I'm being honest. That's probably one of the biggest problems, was my health. You think that drinking, I don't drink that much, I'm not an alcoholic, I don't drink in the mornings, was what I tell myself. But really, the amount I was consuming over a week for 15, 16 years was having its effect on my body. And I eventually had to go to a hospital, go to doctors with and have a tube with a camera down my throat into my stomach, because I was having continual stomach problems. And they discovered that my stomach lining had perished. It was all bleeding, and they diagnosed that as gastritis, and they said that it was down to drinking excess alcohol. And that was a real wake-up call. And that was about 2.5 years ago that I got that diagnosis there. And I was like, what do I do to stop this? And the doctor just said, you need to stop drinking. Really simple. We can give you tablets that can help to relieve it, but ultimately it's your change in diet. All the fun stuff is what he said. You need to stop all the fun stuff. So I stopped drinking for a few weeks, and then I went on my bike trip and didn't drink a lot to start with on the bike trip, going through Malaysia and then Thailand. I started to drink a little bit more, and I thought, I'll be okay now, I'll probably reset my stomach now. And then I just found myself getting gravitated towards urban areas more and more, because I knew I could go and party. And that's kind of what happened, and that definitely had a contributing factor to the breakdown of my marriage. It was definitely alcohol, 100% a contributing factor, with some decisions that were made and things that happened in our relationship. So at the end of that, once I broke up, I definitely drank a lot more. I drank because I wanted to be happy. And that's what I told myself, was drinking makes you happy, makes you party, makes you fun and a social guy. And when you're in a hostel and you're 31, 32 years old and you're getting drunk with all these 21, 22-year-old backpackers, it's not that fun anymore. You just look like kind of a bit of an idiot, and you feel like a bit of an idiot. And I think most of the decisions I made on the bike trip to go to cities or to stay still places, that was really alcohol focused. And it's only when I look back now I can really see that. And at the time I convinced myself it's because I'm a sociable person. I want to be around people. And really it wasn't that. It was I want to go and get drunk and party and meet people and go and meet some girls and do stuff like that. And it ultimately doesn't lead you to being happy. It really led me to be going down into quite a dark place where eventually I came back to England. I was lucky to get a job and really did well in the job and was very functioning, but still going out partying on the weekends and drinking pretty hard with all my old friends and not wanting to appear that I was a little bit down. And in reality I was in a bad place. I was not in my best place having come back from that bike trip. And I then met Katie. She's massively helped and changed how I view things. I say met her. We did originally meet on the bike trip. We met very briefly and kept in touch as friends over the year and a bit that we were away for. And when she was coming back to England, we connected and we're now living together as boyfriend and girlfriend. And 3 weeks into our living together, I was still drinking quite heavily. I had a Zoom chat and it was coronavirus times, just lockdown had started in the UK. And I drank a couple of bottles of wine in a Zoom chat with my friends. And I woke up the next day and I was like, why do I feel hungover? Why do I put myself through this? Katie hadn't drank because she's not really a big drinker, and I just felt horrendous. So that next morning I just was like, I'm done. I don't need it anymore. That's me, I'm finished. And that sounds like, yeah, good one, mate, yeah. You need it to be a good laugh and to be good fun, but I really meant it. I was like, I'm gonna put everything I've got into being alcohol free and no longer drinking. And I've done it now for 6 months, and I feel like the last 6 months, the changes that have happened in my life, they've been substantial and they've all been positive. Every day I wake up actually quite early. I wake up about 6:30, 7, and no alarm. It's because I've had a full night's sleep, usually 7 to 8 hours, and I feel amazing and I feel refreshed and I'm never tired during the day. And that was my life. For the last 20 years I've been tired by about 4 o'clock and I'm like, oh, I'm struggling. No longer anymore. I have not made any stupid drunken decisions. I've not blacked out. I've got no stomach problems. I haven't been putting weight on. I don't feel lethargic. I don't feel any of the numbness that alcohol can give you. It's all gone. And all by just not drinking. If I could have told myself that you could take away all them bad things and have all these good things by doing one thing, and that is to just no longer drink anymore, I'd have gone, yeah, I'll do that. But my willpower wasn't strong enough and I didn't want to. And I think you've got to want to not drink to not do it. I think I'm lucky in the sense that my alcohol level of how much I drank, I wouldn't put myself on the highest end of the scale where I'm waking up and I'm alcohol dependent and dependent on the chemical. But I definitely had an unhealthy relationship with alcohol. And I think that the definition of whether I was an alcoholic or not is irrelevant. And I think that's irrelevant for anybody, really. I think for me, the important question is, does alcohol have a negative effect on your life at all? And that means, have you blacked out? Have you been sick? Have you made decisions? Have you had relationships suffer as a result of your drinking? Does your sleep suffer? Does your performance at work suffer? Do you feel like you put on weight and feel bad about yourself for drinking alcohol? And if any of the answers to that are yes, you've definitely got an unhealthy relationship with alcohol. Maybe not all the time, but in parts. So for me, that's enough. And I think we're socially conditioned to think you have to drink. And that's not true. You don't have to drink to have fun. I have so much fun now. So much more fun now than I did before I drank. And that's the amazing thing. I've got so much time to go yes and say do things that I want to do. And go to the gym, or go fitness, or to be really good and present at work, or to be really present with my girlfriend and family, and to be there for them. It's really been one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. And you can do it too. If you're in a similar place to where I was, or in a worse place, or you just think maybe alcohol is having a negative effect on your life, you can do it. Some advice I'd give is to if you're really struggling, is to really go to a professional for some help. You can go to Drink Aware in the UK, or Alcoholics Anonymous. They can work well for some people, and I've not used any of these support groups myself, but I think I'm fortunate that I've been able to just find my way. I did read a book called The Naked Mind. Who's it by? I can't remember. It's a female author. I can't remember her name. But that really helped. It basically talks about how alcohol and alcohol companies and the government and all these corporations want us to think you have to drink, and how it's really just a big sham, and how damaging alcohol is. Ethanol, the chemical that you are putting into your body, diluted with all sugars and different mixes and different branding to look good. It's funny that one of the most harmful drugs in the world is the only drug you kind of have to apologise for not taking. If I meet people and say, sorry, I don't drink, like, why would you do that with any other drug? But I think I'm in a good place, and that's all that matters, really. And I hope that you guys find something beneficial from watching this and seeing this. Right, 6 months. That's another 6 months to go, and I'm at a year. And I can't wait. Oh, something that was a big deal for me with the alcohol journey. Time we on 12 minutes. Something that was a big deal was telling my friends about me not drinking. They were struggled a little bit at first. One of them rang me immediately and said, "You better be drinking at my wedding." And I was like, "Mate, you're getting married. Like, I should be the last thing on your mind when you're getting married is that I'm having a drink whilst he's doing the rings, or I'm doing his speech." Yeah, I think sometimes if you tell a friend that you are no longer drinking and why, it can sometimes be like a mirror being held up to them, especially if they see you and them as similar types of drinkers. And that I found that for sure. But overall, overwhelmingly, my friends have been good. It's been probably actually something that, because of COVID, I've not seen my friends a great deal because they're scattered around the country. So when I do see them, yeah, they've been really supportive. And I think if they're not supportive, you really, with your friends, if you are in a similar situation, you should really ask yourself if you want to hang around with people like that. So yeah. Right, the sun is setting, and I think that's time to call it on this rambly video. Let me put the light on. Ooh, lights on! Yeah, that's time to call it on this rambly video. It's been a while since I've made anything really substantive, any films, any videos. And that's because I've been spending time with family. My sister moved house last week, so I helped her move her house. I have a 7-year-old son. Some of you won't know that unless you either watch my Instagram. I sometimes mention my son there. But yeah, 7-year-old son who's turning 8 in a couple of months. So I've been spending every other weekend seeing him. It's been such a positive thing to no longer drink alcohol and be constantly present for him as well, and be a good role model to him. And that's a real good focus for me. And obviously spending time with my girlfriend, it's been really brilliant. About a month ago, not even, maybe 3 weeks ago, me and my girlfriend, we packed our rucksacks and just left the house with our tents and sleeping bags, and just walked for three days from our house to a place in the Yorkshire Dales, and we took a train home. And we camped for a couple of nights by a big reservoir, and then another night by a river. And I didn't film it because I just wanted to enjoy it. So yeah, it was really interesting not filming an adventure for a change. But yeah, it's been a brilliant last 6 months since I've stopped drinking. I've started a new job. I'm 2 weeks into this new job. I'm working for a company which provide analysis for the British Army in Kenya. So basically solely working in Kenya for about 150 to 200 days a year, depending on how the work schedule goes. But yeah, that's I'm the team lead, so it's a bit of a promotion, and I'm going to now only work in Kenya. And when I'm not in Kenya, I'm in the UK, and I am doing a lot of the planning and the training. So working from home, working here. This is my office. So super happy about the new job, a bit of a promotion like I just said, and I'm just super happy in life. I'm going to plan to make some more videos, maybe a little bit like this, videos I can do where I give you updates and add value as well. I'm going to make some more bike touring guide related videos. One of the biggest questions I get asked is, how do you park your bike in a city without locking it up? It's like my most asked question. So I'm going to make a video about that. And yeah, and anything else that I found interesting. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found some value. If you did, it'd be brilliant if you subscribed. And I'll see you on the next one.